Olave and Tyler Shough have actually had a nice little. They've actually had a nice little connection. Do you think that's something that can be trusted next year? Are you like specifically for Olave? Do you think Olave is worth having confidence in as a wide receiver two for next year?
Well, I've always thought that Olaf had the talent to be at one. Coming out of Ohio State, I thought he was better than Garrett Wilson. I thought Jackson was better for sure, and you know I always
Mm-hmm.
thought that. But I thought he was better than Wilson, no doubt. And going to the Saints, it's kind of a tough draw because post Drew Brees, it's been terrible. But Tyler Show, I would say Tyler Show's end of the year would be more of like a end of the year fluke thing, kind of like a Drew Lock rookie year thing. I would say that's about Tyler Show this year.
I tend to feel it reminds me a lot of Drew Lock.
Yeah, he's not playing good teams, and you can make the same argument for Cam Ward for sure. The Saints' offensive line has been better than expected, but when the games, especially weeks 1 through like 12 next year in 2026, when the games super matter, I just don't think he can get it done. He just doesn't have anything in his bag that's special. Cam Ward does. That's the difference. Cam Ward can get it out quick. He's a little bit more mobile. He has more arm angles. Tyler Shough cannot. As far as Olaf goes, I think trading Rashid Shaheed was the greatest thing that could ever happen. Some teams are too dumb for their own good. Let's get Rashid Shaheed extremely involved, and he gets one deep catch a game, and then let's throw it to Olaf 5 times for 30 yards. Let's just do that, right? And then they trade Shaheed, and then he gets exposed for the average player he is, below average player he is, and Olaf freaking goes off. Some of
Mm-hmm.
these teams are too dumb for their own good, and I do think that barring the Saints drafting a wide receiver in the first round next year, he's going to continue the same thing, regardless if Show takes a step back or a step forward, because they have nobody else. And Jawan Johnson's been better without Rashid Shaheed too. So sometimes the best ability is availability, and Olaf has the talent, and he's not super old, and he's always had this in him. I'm not surprised at all by his 100-yard 1-2 touchdowns games. Not surprised at all. And yeah, this chemistry between him and Show are good and whatever, but there's still a possibility Saints draft a quarterback. Regardless of who starts for the Saints at QB next year, I think Olaf is a really, really good bet at wide receiver too on your redraft and dynasty team. I'm super confident in that. He's been unbelievably electric with a bad quarterback. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
be honest, a bad quarterback. He's been unbelievably electric, and Kellen Moore is a great OC. We can't forget that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he created a 1,700-yard season out of CeeDee Lamb. That can't be discounted. He can kind of do the same thing for Olaf, and I don't think quarterback matters next year as long as he's the definitive number one target, and he will be unless they draft a receiver in the first round, which I don't think they do. So yeah, I love Olaf for wide receiver 2 in your spot next year, and I wouldn't even hate him if he was your 1 and you take a rookie at 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have those 2 guys to kind of get you through. I think he's fantastic. He's always been fantastic, and he's still young. I think he's still 25. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing value. Trade for him in the offseason if you can. A lot of people might not even like him that much. Go and get him. I've always been super high on him. Really, really good guy to think of in the offseason. Really good guy.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So, say your team has washed receivers that used to be wide receiver ones. Say your receiver combo is Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. 2022 gold, but now you're, on the teetering edge. If you could get Olave for a second, and your team probably wasn't that great this year, so you'd take a rookie in the top 5, then you're actually looking okay as your wide receiver combo. You've all of a sudden flipped it in a year. Because I bet somebody would take a second for Olave in most leagues. I bet somebody would. It'd have to be, a high second, but say in that scenario where you pair Olave with a high first round pick, you also have a high second round pick.
Yeah.
So you can use that top 5 second round pick for him. I think that'd be a good thing to do.
That's how getting value really comes along. A lot of people talk about value in Dynasty. Oh, you get value, value, value. The real value comes from getting guys who everybody thinks sucks because of consensus for things that aren't first round picks. You know, I would trade the first pick in the second round for Olave right now. If I had the first overall pick next year. And then you have the first overall pick next year. And if you need another receiver, trade down to 3. Get Woody Marks and 3. Use 3 on a receiver. Now you have Woody Marks, Olave, and a rookie receiver, all for Jeremiah Love. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's how getting value works. Not, you need to structure it this complicated 3-way trade.
Well, it's not playing this game where, I trade for this guy, and then I trade this guy away to this team, and then I trade that thing I got from that team away to a different team, and all of a sudden I've used value in the best way possible. Because if you play in a real league, people aren't going to trade for somebody you just traded for. People are smart enough to just not do that. Unless you play in, a random casual league with a bunch of people you don't know in real life. Most people play leagues with people they know in real life. So they're going to be like, I'm not just going to give this guy something for this guy he just traded for from this other team. Because he's just trying to do a little quick, make his team a lot better. Most people are smart enough to not do that. But like you said, that's a good way to do it. Because think about this year. The top pick of the second round was probably Dylan Sampson. Everybody was so excited for him. And there was a good reason to be excited for him because you didn't know the Quinshon thing. Who would you rather have this year, in hindsight? Olave or Sampson? Yeah, you can say the same thing for next year. Give up your first pick in the second round for Olave, and you'll probably end up being happy. Yeah, sure, maybe you miss out on the random super sick guy in the second round. Or maybe you miss out on, the guy who ended up taking, like, Jadon Blue in the second round. And you're like, yeah. Second rounds are such dart throws. I love that use of a second round.